Once upon a time. Perfect.
We have a big problem in the fitness industry that needs addressing. You know, the clip, that SpongeBob clips, it goes longer, but it was getting to be too long for an intro, so I cut it out. I was still kind of thinking about inserting it in somewhere. You know, in fact, I'm gonna do that right here. I'm gonna show you the rest of the clip. Future Dan, stick that clip in.
Loser! 3 patties for everyone!
That's more or less people's reaction to the classes. Classes are not all bad, and I'll get into that. But generally speaking, if you're on your fitness journey and you're taking a bunch of classes and you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you'd like, well, maybe I can illuminate you, enlighten you, educate. I hate it when people say educate. Let me educate you. Oh, shut up. Enlighten sounds less pretentious. Well, let me say, enlighten sounds more pretentious but less condescending than educate. Let me educate you. Let me enlighten you. Well, let me enlighten you as to why maybe you're not getting the results that you would like from the classes. Or maybe you are, in which case, don't worry about this video. But maybe you're not doing either. Maybe you're not working out on your own and you're not taking fitness classes. And so you're wondering, what should I do? Well, maybe I can enlighten you. First of all, what's good about classes? Why do people love the classes so much? I'm going to start with what's great about them, because I know there's a lot of people that are already like, I love my classes, I'm not going to stop taking them. Fair enough. You can keep taking your classes, but there is an issue with the classes. There's some good things about them too, though. I'm going to talk about what's good about them. What's great about the classes? Well, first and foremost, they get you moving. They get you exercising. At least you're doing something. And most of the time, doing something, a little bit of something, is better than a whole lot of nothing. Now, they can be counterproductive, and I'll get into that later. But generally speaking, if you're doing something, that's good. You're doing some kind of exercising. You're learning a skill. You usually get that in a class. And most classes are teaching you something, like dance classes or boxing classes, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, the weird rope swinging classes that I'm seeing on Facebook that look really funny and really goofy, and it always comes with the caption, real-time footage of wives wasting their husband's paycheck, because it's just a bunch of women doing these weird things. So doing something is better than doing nothing. I want you to get out and do a class if you're currently not doing any kind of exercise at all. Another thing that's great about the classes, they're great for community. There's usually a lot of other women in the classes. I'm saying women specifically because it's usually the women that love the classes. Men are just like a man is less likely to ask for directions when he's driving around trying to find a store or a town or whatever. He's less likely to join a class because he just doesn't want to go. He just doesn't want to do it on his own. No, men love doing stuff on their own. Women don't. Men still take classes. So, you know, if you're a man and you're taking a class, this applies to you as well. But I'd say, I'm just pulling this number out of nowhere, but I'll bet 70 to 80% of people signing up for fitness classes are women. It's probably something like that. It's definitely a majority. So I understand you love community. You want to be there doing it with somebody. And that's fine. That's great. If it gets you moving and you're making friends, that's awesome. Now, what's the problem with classes? Obviously, my my title that I put on this was ripping on classes, partly to be clickbaity. I know that if it's not clickbaity, then you won't click on it, and then you won't see the great enlightening things that I have to say. So, what's not good about classes? Classes are designed to do a few things. One is to make money. If you want to make a lot of money really fast, start doing classes. But that's fine. I'm not faulting anybody for that. Everybody needs to make money. I am a big fan of capitalism. I'm a big fan of the capitalist system. I'm a big fan of the system that forces people to be altruistic to one another and provide services and give people what they want. And that's basically what you're getting with a class. They're giving you what you want, or at least what you think you want. The second thing that classes are designed to do is they're designed to make you sweat and to make you sore. I've said in the past, and I'll continue to say, how sweaty a workout makes you is a terrible gauge of how good the workout is. I can make you sweat so easy. I just have to turn up the heater in your apartment or your house, and you will start sweating. Put you in sweatpants, make you go for a leisurely walk on a 100 degree day, and you will sweat. I guarantee you, you will sweat. Even if you're not a sweaty person. I know there's people that say, oh, I just don't really sweat. I can make you sweat. I guarantee it. I can make you sore. I just have to make you do something that you're not used to doing. Take the fittest man in the world. Doesn't have to be the fittest man. Take the greatest bodybuilder in the world, or the greatest tennis player, or the greatest long distance swimmer. Any one of these people, and make them run a marathon. And it will destroy them. It will destroy their legs. They will be so sore the next day. Take a marathon runner and make him do one of their activities, and then he'll be sore the next day. It's really not hard to get sore. It mostly just takes novelty. If I just make you do something that your body isn't used to doing, it will make you sore. And then your body will adjust and you'll get used to it. And then you have to keep upping the intensity to achieve that level of soreness, because you're chasing the soreness. You think that sore is what you're supposed to be, and if you're not getting sore, was it a good workout? Well, classes take advantage of that. In the classes, you're more likely to get this environment where everybody's pushing harder and harder and harder and harder, and then that's when it starts to become counterproductive. That's the other thing wrong with classes. This is where the whole just get up and move, it actually becomes a detriment to your overall fitness journey and your results. Your body can only handle a certain level of stress before it starts to, well, either it stops building, you stop getting stronger, and you just start getting more and more tired. And you're already a busy person. Life is already stressful, so you've got one more thing making you super tired in the form of these classes. It's a pretty low ceiling for how far you can go in either the Orange Theory or a boxing class. P90X. I was a big fan of P90X back in the day, because boy oh boy did it make me sore. But again, chasing the soreness, don't chase the soreness. Don't chase the soreness, don't chase the sweat. It doesn't mean anything. All sweat means is that your body temperature has gone up, or that your body's trying to cool itself down because it's in a hot environment. And all sore means is that you broke down the muscles because you did something novel. That's all sore means. And if your diet's not very good, if you haven't figured your diet out, then it won't really matter if you've broken your muscles down. You're not going to get all that much stronger. That's a different discussion, though. We won't get into diet in this video. Protein. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The classes do one other thing that I'm not a huge fan of. There's a lot of false advertising, and I am guilty of this. Not because I've started fitness classes with the promise that if you do this class, you'll look like me. But I do coach classes. They're boxing classes specifically. I'm a boxing coach. And I don't tell people that they're going to look like me if they take this boxing class. I don't have to. They walk in and they see me and I'm coaching this boxing class, and so they assume, oh, Dan must look like that because of all the boxing. Well, no. I've got really good cardio. I've got pretty good endurance. That mostly comes from the boxing. But my physique comes almost entirely from weightlifting. My workout regimen is about 80% strength training, and the other 20% is boxing or some kind of cardio. So, no, you will not look like me if you just take a bunch of boxing classes. And again, I don't explicitly say that. I don't usually have to. People don't ask. Well, when people ask me, if somebody comes right up and asks me, then I'm straight up with them and I say, if you want to really improve your physique, if there's a look you're going for, if there's an aesthetic, then don't rely on boxing. Lift some weights. There's a meme going around online. It shows a picture. Future Dan, find this meme and include it in the video. It shows this really ripped, huge bodybuilder guy, tattoos, 5 o'clock shadow, the kind of guy you would not want to mess with. And and then it shows a second guy. They're right next to it. It shows them right next to each other. And the meme is, imagine trying to explain to non-MMA fans that the guy on the I'm trying to think where this is gonna be imagine trying to explain to non-MMA fighters that the less good-looking guy could absolutely destroy the better-looking guy. Because the guy who doesn't look as good is some kind of professional fighter, and the other guy is just a bodybuilder. If you love fighting and you want to get into that, that's fine. But don't expect to look like a bodybuilder if you do that. Watch some boxing and watch some MMA. Look at how most of these guys look. You get exceptions. There's guys in there who they look pretty good. You can tell they just have a naturally nice physique, or they do a lot of weightlifting in between their mixed martial art training. By and large, if you're going for a certain physique, you're not going to achieve it through classes. You're not going to look like the instructor most of the time. Most of the time, these people who run these classes, they're kind of fitness obsessed people, and they just kind of naturally look good. Even if they didn't work out, they wouldn't look as good as they do, but they wouldn't look bad either. These are the people who are running the classes, and yeah, you're not going to look like the instructor from taking their class. You're going to get much, much, much better results through a personalized strength training program. All right, this is how you actually do it. Here is a better way to achieve your goals. Now, you don't have to totally stop taking the classes, but don't think of the classes as strength training. Think of them more like cardio, because that's almost what they always are. Even if you're using weights, even if the classes include weights, that doesn't make it strength training. Strength training means you're getting stronger every time. It means you can lift a little bit more each time, or at least that's the goal. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to up your weight and get stronger with each workout. Classes put emphasis on the number of times you show up, and that's not a bad thing, especially if you're just trying to get into the habit of getting to the gym and working out every day. But they rarely emphasize actually getting stronger. They rarely encourage people to bring their notebook and write down their results. They rarely take proper rest times. Yeah, you gotta think about rest times, or think about exercise selection. Make sure you're hitting all of the parts of the body, legs, back, chest, and core. You know, maybe you need to hit one more than the other, depending on your goals. So, you can do all of that with a personalized strength training program. You can spend more time thinking about how you feel during the workout, rather than looking around and seeing what everybody else is doing and just trying to keep up with what everyone else in the class is doing. You can just focus on your own personal results. And that's good. That'll get you the results that you want. And through all that process, again, the classes are great for community. Personalized strength training programs encourage you to be more independent. You're not necessarily depending on someone else to tell you what to do, and you learn what works for you. So, all that being said, please, if all you do are classes, fitness classes, please, move away from the classes and include more strength training. Personalized, individual strength training. That's how you're going to get toned. That's how you're going to get the results that you want. That's going to be the very best thing for your long-term fitness. You're less likely to burn out. All right, the classes, people who take a lot of classes are very prone to burning out because classes are hard. Again, they're designed to make you sweat and to make you sore. Well, you can only handle so much of that before you finally go, okay, this sucks. It was fun at first, but you know, this other thing just came up, and so now I can't handle this level of stress in my life. So yeah, I'm not okay. You're much less likely to do that with strength training. Strength training is easier on the body and on the mind. Don't stop doing the classes. Just think of them like a cardio session. And I'll just emphasize one more time, if you like the classes and you're happy with the results, keep doing them. But if you're not, well, you might need to change things up. Don't get stuck in Groundhog Day where you're doing the same thing every single day and not seeing results, which lets me segue into my movie recommendation. You like that segue? Oh, I didn't even plan that. That just occurred to me. I mean, I did want to give you a movie recommendation. Here's my movie recommendation. So this last weekend I watched Groundhog Day. Rewatched it actually. And, you know, Groundhog Day, it's become so deeply ingrained within our culture, you don't even have to, like, if you've never seen Groundhog Day, you still know what it's about. All I have to say is, oh my gosh, it feels like Groundhog Day, or yeah, the story, it's a spoof on Groundhog Day, or it's just a variation of Groundhog Day. Everybody knows what that means because of this throwaway Bill Murray comedy from the 80s or early 90s, I don't remember. I should have looked up the date before I started. But that's how deeply ingrained it is in our culture, this movie called Groundhog Day. The idea of a time loop wasn't totally new, but this was the first time it had been done this way, where you've got one guy repeating the same day over and over and over again. And it's actually a pretty profound message. My dad would always point out how profound it was, and he'd always be kind of scratching his head like, oh my gosh, how do all the evil deviants in Hollywood, all the degenerates, that's how my dad talks about Hollywood. And by the way, I agree. Hollywood is a diamond-studded septic tank where some of the worst people in the world all congregate and have the money to act out all their horrible degenerate desires. But then occasionally they come up with these gems. It's because they're a bunch of weird artists. Anyways, Groundhog Day is one of those weird gems. And my dad would always comment on it, on how, wow, how did they come up with that? How did they come up with this film? Anyways, I watched it again this last weekend, and this is the first time that I've watched it in adulthood. And my dad is right. This film is profound. This goofy Bill Murray comedy, where you got Bill Murray being Bill Murray, By the way, one of the most overrated comedians like of all time. I don't dislike Bill Murray. I just don't understand why he's... Yeah, I've never really understood the Bill Murray thing. But he's great in this because, you know, he's just being Bill Murray. Anyways, it's a story about a newsman, a news reporter named Phil. And he's grumpy, he's cynical, he treats everybody around him like crap. And he's been assigned to report on the groundhog in this little town, this little out-of-the-way town that they have this tradition of bringing the groundhog out, and the groundhog sees its shadow, then they've got like 20 more weeks of winter or something like that. Anyways, he thinks it's all really stupid, and again, he just treats everybody like around him like garbage. You can tell how much he hates life, and he's just ready to get out of there. Well, the next day he wakes up, and it's the same day over and over again. Except he's the only one who realizes it. Nobody else is stuck in this time loop. It's just him. And he has to keep reliving this day that he hated to begin with. He has to keep reliving it over and over and over and over again. And he starts to take advantage of it. He starts taking advantage of people because nobody else knows. He can do whatever he wants. So he starts, finding women to seduce. He learns everything about them and seduces them. If it doesn't work the first day, he adjusts his strategy and makes it work the second day. And then he just likes to mess with people. He steals money, he robs banks. He's just being kind of a crummy person. There's one woman in particular. She's on his news crew, and he genuinely likes her. He really does like her. He has real feelings for her. He tries to do the same thing to her. He tries to seduce her the way he's seducing these other women, and it never worked. He can't get it to work. He can't seduce her. And every day there's just this montage of him every day getting slapped over and over and over and over again by this woman that he actually really does like. Finally, he decides that, okay, well, he has to keep living this day over and over again, and he's tried indulging in all of his selfish desires. He tries something different. Actually being a good person and doing the right thing. So he switches things up. He goes around, and rather than just having fun with people, he actually tries to help people. He learns new skills. He learns how to sculpt ice. He learns piano. He finds a piano teacher, and he just keeps going to her every day. People have actually done the math on this. What on average, how long does it take to learn how to play piano? He learns how to play piano and how to sculpt ice. And people have done the math on this to figure out how long that actually takes. He was stuck in this loop. He would have had to have been stuck in this loop for several years. Several years worth of days, he was stuck in this time loop. And finally, there comes a day where he's helped everybody that he can. He's stopped being selfish. And he's finally gotten the woman that he actually loves. He's gotten her to start falling in love with him back. Not because he's using any tricks, but because he's actually becoming a genuinely good person. And then finally, when he does that, the movie ends with him getting out of Groundhog Day. It wasn't until he changed and became a better person that he finally got out of it. This is a message for all of us. Are you stuck in Groundhog Day? Are you stuck doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, day after day after day after day? I mean, it's not literally Groundhog Day, obviously. If you try to do what Phil does, there's a sequence in it where he just keeps killing himself. Just over and over and over again. Because why not? She just has to relive the day over and over. He puts the toaster in the bathtub with him, and he jumps off a cliff. He steals the groundhog. He starts to go kind of crazy, and he steals the groundhog because he thinks that maybe if he kills the groundhog, that'll stop Groundhog Day. It's not that brutal. He doesn't strangle it. He kidnaps the groundhog, and he's driving in his car, and the police are chasing him, and he drives the car off a cliff, and it explodes. But it doesn't work. So, anyways, are you stuck in your own Groundhog Day? Do you find yourself doing the same thing over and over, making the same mistakes? and then wondering why your life isn't getting better. The real interesting thing about Groundhog Day, and the thing that I kind of missed the first time around, was how long it took for him to actually get out once he started. It's not like he did the right thing for one day and then that was it. No. He had to keep doing it until he actually became a different person. He stopped being cynical. He started looking at life in a different way. He saw it as an opportunity to learn and to grow. Again, he learned how to play piano, like really well. And he learned that it was more fun to actually help people than to just do his own selfish thing and to treat everybody around him like garbage. And it wasn't until he had spent enough time, again, several years worth, becoming a different person, that's when he finally broke out. And that's what we all have to do. It's not instantaneous. It's not it takes time and it takes effort. It takes patience. But we can all break out of our own Groundhog Day and change our lives. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Go away! Thank you for listening. Hey, tell me, have you ever heard someone say something like, oh, fitness isn't everything? Don't listen to that communist gobbledygook. Take pride in your body, take pride in your fitness, and let me help you along the way. Follow me at American_Fitnocrat on Instagram. And if you'd like some personalized coaching, DM me.